Alright, well, some chords we learned today, rounding out our discussion of seventh chords. We learned some in first position, which are just like autonomous. I have learned new chords in first position things, like D7 and G7 and B7, which is in so many songs with E and A. And then we got to C7, which is actually a movable chord, where, you know, I'm muting the bass string with my thumb and then just not fretting excellently here so that we get that, which is pretty easy to do if you're just conscious of it. So that's the type of seventh chord. If we look at D7, like the A7 of this voicing of it, that's got, and so we're going, so both seventh chords, we just got a root here and a third there, which we brought up to get to ninth chords, which has that same cluster in it, and then just borrow your ring finger. Cool. So then, with that, we can do minor 9 this way, and or this way. And these are all chords that need to be played in classical thumb position. You can play D9 in thumb over top, but these minor 9 chords call for classical thumb position. Everything else we've done today is sort of an it depends situation, certainly, except for the major 7 chord, which is tough, would be tough to do in thumb over top unless you used your thumb for the bass note. And we talked about Fs too, and I think the point was like that there's this one in between F with C in it that's a useful, more full voiced one that's not as super thick chord. It's between this and this, so F/C, and I'll write that on the page on there. So, you know, that's a movable shape. Anything doesn't have open strings on it, we can move around. So, and then we had our major 7 chord we learned last time. There's C major 7, whereas G major 7 requires this, you know, weird bunch it up like that thing. And the muting part is pretty easy there, as long as you just kind of like fret crappy with this finger, and the first string will take care of itself for your palm. And this is the one where I was like, you know, feel like you can't just go. Actually, I'd like to assign you can't play that rhythm this week. As you're like, I'm trying out a chord rhythm, like anything else, like
other rhythms or just arpeggios or what?
Other rhythms.
Okay, what's the rhythm you don't want me to do?
Which is a perfectly fine rhythm. It just seems to do what you do every time. Yeah, so I mean, like there's so many songs, you know, whatever, or totally arpeggiating or anything. Just certain chords sound really shitty with that kind of aggressive strumming, but this isn't
aggressive is how hard I'm strumming it?
Yeah, or just it's a full voiced chord that, yeah, this rhythm you can't really play and make it sound right, because it's the type of rhythm one plays with like heavy attack, or you're playing some other rhythm. But these are great questions, for what it's worth.
Can you show me the G's we did? We did a couple variations
totally,
on G.
Absolutely. So G, like you learned it, and then the C to G is the one that we learned, and G7, which I already mentioned in our first position 7th chords. Cool, so there we are, which is in there. So yeah, like, you know, this is G, and this is G. Sometimes people will write G5 for that. We also talked about how you can, like, when you're playing this one, like the one your default G, you can move around these 2 fingers to other common shapes, and there's all these, like, cool suspended chords that come up, like, you know, like for, like, a C type thing, or an E minor type thing, or an A type thing. You kind of can't go wrong, actually, as long as you don't pick random notes or whatever. So what I need to write in F stuff, or I forget what we talked about. It's on the page.
I can probably get it.
It was
from
just the F stuff. Yeah, we're good. Cool. No, it was the G's. Anyway, which you can totally get from the video. So there you go. Here are some other rhythms. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What about 1, 2? Then what about like more of a hip hop thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. drum team. Down, 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 up. Or something like in 3/4. Dum jiggy jiggy, dum jiggy jiggy. So just think here, while we're at it, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it could totally be like your default rhythm. If you went bass note twice and then strums, it would be like rather than. So there's an IE, totally same rhythm. Like every hip hop thing is like boom boom or whatever. So like any kind of boom boom cha. Anyway, you have been guitar lessons.